Hello and welcome to lesson 3. As you open your workbook, your job now is to answer the 3 questions in your workbook. So this should take approximately 5 minutes. So today we're going to be learning about using selection statements, if, else, and elif in a program. Learn how to use different comparison operators and use indentation correctly to define a block of code. The answers to the first RRR are as follows. Identified 3 data types. You have string, float, or integer. You could also have Boolean. The 2 line of codes to allow someone to input their first name and then display it is what you learned in previous lesson. You could have first name equals input. What is your name? Like is displayed here, and print first name. And what is the arithmetic operator for floor division is a double /. Okay, so please check your answers. Green, put them in green if you got them incorrect, and just look through them, please. Again, 2 minutes on this, please. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the program in front of you and for a few minutes and have a think, what does this program actually do? Again, I'll pause if you pause the video and have a think, because I'm going to continue talking. So it's called a password checker. Again, this is a comment. This isn't code, again, because it's in red with a hashtag in front of it. It's going to say print here in the quotation marks, welcome to the PGO Online Security Systems. It's going to print all them stars. Then it's going to say password equals input, enter your password. If your password is equals to, which means the same as ABCD1234, it'll print access granted, else it'll print access denied, and I'll press enter to close the program. Again, this is called selection, if and else. Python requires indentation as part of its syntax. Indentation signifies the start and end of a block of code. Programs are not run without correct indentation. So, for example, if password equals ABCD1234, these 2 print statements need to be indented just by pressing the tab key on your keyboard. Okay, some programs will do this automatically for you. Again, if I put this code in line with the else and the if, it would not work. Using an if statement, using a selection, it forces a decision. If condition then, do this, else do that. So if somebody saw me do it, then might get away with it, else busted, okay? Like if you committed a crime. So again, this if statement gives different decisions based on, again, you can have other things in the middle, which we'll discuss in a moment. So for example, I ran this syntax, and again, age equals input, enter age. Again, remember this has been cast as an integer from previous lesson. If age is equal to or greater than 18, print adult, else print child. Okay, and I'll record another video to show this program working. So you can test this out yourself in repel.it on the internet. Now what I'd like to do is complete the table using the fill tool to match the comparison operators to the correct meaning. Again, there'll be a separate video showing you how to use the fill tool in your Google Classroom workbook. These are the answers you should have received or found. Operate for 2 equal signs means equal to, so 7 is equal to 7 for the evaluates to being true. Not equals to, if 6 is not equal to 7, then it's true. This is a greater than, so 7 is greater than 6 is true, whereas a less than of 5 is less than 8 is true. If is equal to or greater than, if 6 is equal to or greater than is 8, it's no, it's false. And again, less than or equal to 7 will be true. Okay? So just check your answers now. So who uses if statements? So if you think about a mobile phone, for example, where might an if statement appear in its coding? I'd like to pause the video and have a think about it for a minute before I discuss some possible options. If you think about the most simple one, obviously when you type your passcode in your phone or uses Face ID, that will use an if statement to test if it's a correct user. For example, if your passcode was 6 zeros, not a very good password. If you didn't type in something different, it'll say incorrect ID. Okay, well, incorrect password. Obviously, the only way to let you into your phone is if you type in the 6 zeros before it locks you out. So what you're going to do in a moment is you're going to write a simple program that might be used inside a police speed camera. Remember, just think about the problem. So it must accept the driver's speed. So again, think about, you must have some kind of input there, asking for a speed. If the speed is over 70 miles per hour, a message issued fine should appear on a speed gun. Otherwise, it should display no action. Your job now is to try and write some code in Rappel.it. Again, there'll be a help video you can find in the top corner of your Google Classroom workbook. And then you'll take a print screen and place it on your workbook on the next page. So this should take approximately about 10 to 15 minutes to work through this. The next thing we're going to learn about is elif statements. This gives you two options. Elif stands for else, and it also gives you more options. You can use it as many times you like. For example, if I was to do a grades, work out grades for a class, if I said a grade is greater than, equal to or greater than 80, get a distinction, then I could have more things in the middle rather than just an else. So I can have grades equal to or greater than 70 as a merit, equal to or greater than 60 as a pass. Anything lower than that would be a fail. So what you'd like to do now is adapt your speed camera program. This time you're going to add an elif statement inside it. So this will go in between your if and your else. So this time it's going to issue a warning between 70 and 75 miles per hour, and it only issue a fine when you're over 75 miles per hour. Okay, and again, there'll be a help video to show you how to do this if you get stuck. If you completed all of them tasks and you found it quite straightforward, again, there's no emphasis if you have to do this, but again, if you want to test your skills and ability, I want you to create this program. Allows the user to enter the amount of pounds they have to convert, get them to select what currency they want to convert, e.g. pounds, select 1 or 2 for your dollars or 3 for currencies, and use an if statement to convert the currency to show how much you will get. Okay, so again, remember to use if and elif statements. Again, I will not be putting a video on this. This is a challenge task for you to have a go at. For your plenary, answer the following two questions. What is a constant? And provide a variable. So again, spend 2 or 3 minutes on answering these two questions. In a computer program, a constant is a value that cannot be altered by the program during normal execution. For example, unit of gravity or the value of pi. These are constants because they'll never change. Your homework for flashcards are: make a flashcard with all the different comparison operators you learned about today. And thank you for listening.